You're watching Indeed India Live. I'm Amritpal Singh, India's voice to the world. I'm coming up in the next 30 minutes. India voices grave concern over hostilities against minorities in Bangladesh, condemns the recent killing of Hindu youths, says perpetrators must be punished. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with PM Rashtriya Bal Puraskar awardees on the Veer Bal Divas, says Gen Z and Gen Alpha should shoulder responsibility of making India developed by 2047. President Trump to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Florida on Sunday. Zelenskyy hails new ideas on peace after talks with US envoys. India on Friday strongly condemned the recent incidents of lynching of two Hindu men in Bangladesh, with the Ministry of External Affairs expressing deep concern over what it described as unremitting hostility against minorities in the neighboring country.
The unremitting hostility against minorities in Bangladesh, including Hindus, Christians and Buddhists, at the hands of extremists, is a matter of grave concern. We condemn the recent gruesome killing of a Hindu youth in Singh and expect that the perpetrators of the crime would be brought to justice. Over 2,900 incidents of violence against minorities, including cases of killings, arsons, land grab, have been documented by independent sources during the tenure of the interim government.
And the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs also said that India has consistently raised concerns over attacks on minorities and rejected what it called a false narrative being pushed by Bangladesh on such incidents.
We have rejected the false narrative that has been projected in Bangladesh. You would understand that law and order or security situation or the developments that are happening in Bangladesh is the responsibility of the government of Bangladesh, and to portray a narrative where things go in some other direction is completely false, and we reject that.
Days after the lynching of Dipu Chandra Das in Singh, another Hindu man has been beaten to death by a mob in Bangladesh, raising fresh concerns over the safety of minorities in that country. The latest incident took place in Bangladesh's Rajbari district, where 30-year-old Amrit Mondal alias Samrat was killed by a group of local Pangsha Upazila on Wednesday night. And meanwhile, protests are being held across India against the atrocities against Hindus in Bangladesh. In one such protest, activists of the Hindu Sanhati took out a rally to the office of the Bangladesh Deputy High Commission in Kolkata on Friday to protest the alleged attack on minority Hindus in the neighboring country, and submitted a 6-point charter of demands to the mission officials. A 3-member delegation of the organization met a senior official of the diplomatic mission and submitted their demands, which included exemplary punishment of those involved in the lynching of Dipu Chandra Das on December 18th, and the security of minorities in Bangladesh and their religious institutions. The delegation members informed reporters that they were assured by the diplomat that he would forward those demands to the Bangladesh government. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad in Gorakhpur also protested over violence against Hindu community in Bangladesh. The president of the VHP's Gorakhpur province said that mistreatment of Hindus in Bangladesh, including the killings and arson attacks on people's establishments, is condemnable. And shifting focus to now some international developments, U.S. President Donald Trump is set to meet President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on Sunday at his Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. Regarding the upcoming meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, the Ukrainian president said that key decisions could be made before the new year, as Washington has stepped up diplomatic efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict. This comes after a round of negotiations between U.S. and Ukrainian teams, which produced a 20-point peace plan to end the conflict, which was hailed by Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The Ukrainian leader earlier held discussions on Thursday with Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and President's son-in-law Jared Kushner, saying that some documents which aim at ending the conflict and supporting Ukraine's reconstruction were nearly ready, while others have already been finalized. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered engagement with the U.S. administration after Moscow received American proposals on a possible Ukraine peace deal. The Kremlin said Putin's foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov spoke over the telephone with several members of the U.S. president's administration after the proposals were delivered to Moscow. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that the documents were brought back from the U.S. by President Putin's envoy Kirill Dmitriev following meetings in Miami and are now being analyzed. Peskov, however, declined to comment on the contents of the proposals, saying public remarks could undermine negotiations. The U.S. carried out an airstrike against the Islamic State in Nigeria on Christmas night. U.S. President Donald Trump, in a social media post, said that forces conducted deadly strikes against ISIS terrorists in northwestern Nigeria and vowed more such attacks if the terrorists keep killing Christians. Trump hailed the U.S. military for executing numerous perfect strikes. The strikes come after Trump, starting in October, began warning that Christianity faces an existential threat in Nigeria and threatened to militarily intervene in the West African country over what he says is its failure to stop violence targeting Christian communities. The U.S. military Africa Command said that the strike was carried out in Sokoto state at the directions of U.S. President and Secretary of War in coordination with the Nigerian authorities. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth thanked the Nigerian government for its support after the strikes. Hegseth also praised his department's readiness to take action in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nigeria's foreign ministry said that the strikes were carried out as part of ongoing security cooperation with the U.S. involving intelligence sharing and strategic coordination to target ISIS. And the Nigerian President Bola Tinubu vowed to protect religious freedom in a statement and letter published on social media on Christmas Day. At least 8 people have been killed and more than 20 wounded in an explosion inside an Alawite mosque in the Syrian city of Homs on Friday during the prayers, according to the state media. Syrian authorities said that an explosive device detonated inside the Imam Ali bin Abi Talib mosque, with security forces sealing off the area as rescue teams searched the debris. There are no immediate claims of responsibility, as the attack comes amid renewed sectarian violence in Syria following last year's political upheaval. In the U.S., torrential rains unleashed flash floods as a series of Christmas storms hit the state, with downpours and high winds forecast through Friday. State authorities declared a state of emergency in several counties. Downpours measuring an inch or more of rain an hour in some areas was spawned by the region's latest atmospheric storm. At least 3 people died in storm-related incidents on Christmas Eve. Cars were engulfed by floodwaters and debris in Whitewood, while trees fell onto roads in San Francisco. The U.S. National Weather Service said that the storm was expected to continue, creating dangerous conditions. Now shifting focus to Asia Pacific. Malaysia's former Prime Minister Najib Razak was found guilty on all charges of abuse of power and money laundering on Friday in the One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. Najib had been charged with 4 counts of corruption and 21 counts of money laundering for receiving illegal transfers of about $544 million US from one NDB. The judge convicted the 72-year-old former leader on all 4 counts of abuse of power as well as all 21 counts of money laundering, involving around $554 million US from the fund. The ex-Prime Minister could face a maximum jail term of between 15 to 20 years on each charge, as well as a fine of up to 5 times the value of the alleged misappropriations. Preparations are underway in Myanmar as the military-led administration moves ahead with a multi-phase general election. Voting will take place in 3 phases on December 28th, followed by January 11th and January 25th, covering Myanmar's 330 townships. In Yangon, polling stations were being readied, while supporters of the military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party were seen campaigning on the streets ahead of Sunday's vote. Junta Chief Min Aung has previously acknowledged that the election will not be held nationwide, with only 6 parties contesting at the national level actually. In other international news, one of the world's rarest wildcats has been sighted in Malaysia's Borneo Island. The endangered flat-headed cat was captured on camera in Sabah Tangkulap Forest Reserve in 2024. Wildlife officials say the sighting is rare and hopeful sign for conservation efforts. An exhibition of ancient Mongolian women jewelry has opened to the public in Ulaanbaatar, featuring more than 100 rare artifacts tracing the evolution of clothing and ornamentation. Elaborate headpieces were made of gold, silver and rare metals, which reveal how jewelry reflected a woman's status, identity and ethnic background. The exhibition offers visitors a rare insight into Mongolia's rich cultural heritage and the traditions preserved across generations. Crane games are taking center stage in Japan's arcades, drawing crowds eager to win plush toys rather than play video games. In Tokyo's district, rows of claw machines are now dominate the arcade floors. The trend highlights a shift in Japan's gaming culture towards casual, price-based entertainment. And still to come up on this edition of DD India Live, India unveils the first organized crime network database to track terror links of organized crime. 20 wickets fall on the opening day of the Boxing Day Test match between Australia and England at Melbourne. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Amritpal Singh. The month of December reminds us as Indians of the martyrdom of the Veer Sahibzadas, who were the sons of the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The Sahibzadas sacrificed their lives to uphold truth and dharma. Prime Minister Modi interacted with the PM Rashtriya Bal Puraskar awardees on Friday on the occasion of the Veer Bal Divas at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi.
Courage knows no age. The story of Veer Sahibzades, Sahibzade Zorawar Singh and Sahibzade Fateh Singh inspires us to stand firm on the path of truth and righteousness even when the odds are against us. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with Rashtriya Bal Puraskar awardees on Friday at the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Addressing the students on the occasion of Veer Bal Divas, he said that Gen Z and in a way Gen Alpha will take India towards the goal of Viksit Bharat.
अब हम भारतीयों के बलिदान, हमारे शौर्य की स्मृतियां दबेगी नहीं। अब देश के नायक नायिकाओं को हाशिए पर नहीं रखा जाएगा और इसलिए वीर बाल दिवस को हम पूरे मनोभाव से मना रहे हैं।
President Draupadi Murmu earlier presented the awards to 20 children from 18 states and union territories for their exceptional bravery in times of crisis. The awards included a medal, citation and 100,000 rupees in cash.
जिस देश के बच्चे देश प्रेम की भावना और ऊंचे आदर्श से भरे होते हैं, उस देश की मानवता सुनिश्चित रहती है। ऐसे प्रतिभाशाली बच्चों के बल पर भारत को विश्व पटल पर चेस पावर हाउस माना जा रहा है।
The stories of these awardees are nothing short of awe and wonder. Maharashtra's 17-year-old Divyang innovator Arnav Anupriya Maharshi has developed an AI-based hand paralysis rehabilitation tool, while Uttar Pradesh's Pooja developed a shaft dust separation machine.
I have developed an artificial intelligence software application which can assess the fine motor movements, the finger-hand movements of paralyzed patients and cerebral palsy patients, and assess how good they're performing the movement and give them immediate feedback in real time.
मैं उत्तर प्रदेश के बाराबंकी जिले के एक छोटे से गांव डलेकपुरवा में मैं रहती हूं। मैंने बनाया था भूषा धूल पृथक्करण यंत्र।
मेरी छात्रा यहां तक पहुंची है तो एक शिक्षक के लिए इससे अच्छा क्षण हो ही नहीं सकता कि आज मेरी पूजा को आज प्रधानमंत्री राष्ट्रीय बाल पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया गया है।
I'm a swimmer. I was India's youngest Olympian at Paris 2024 and India's youngest athlete at the 2023 Asian Games.
Among the other awardees, Kerala's 11-year-old Mohammad Sidan P saved his two friends from electrocution, while 9-year-old Ajay Raj from Agra saved his father from a crocodile attack.
मेरे बाबा जम्मू के किनारे बकरियां चराने गए, उसी समय प्यास लगी तो पानी भर रहे, इसलिए मगरमच्छ ने पैर पकड़ लिया तो लाए तो मैं लाठी लेके कूद गया और उसने 10-15 लाठी मारी। वो माना नहीं तो मैंने उसकी आंख में लाठी मारी तो वो भाग गया, इसलिए मेरे पापा की जान बच गई।
Mizoram's 9-year-old singer Esther Lalhuwami Namte captured national attention with her patriotic renditions.
जहाँ वहाँ सारा जहाँ देख लिया है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है। अस्सी नहीं 100 दिन दुनिया घुमा है, नहीं कहे तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं। मैं गया जहाँ भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी मुझको तड़पा थी रुलाती। सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत प्यार है, बस तेरा प्यार ही। माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, मामा तुझे सलाम। Thank you.
The Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar is the highest civilian honor for children in the country. It inspires the young and the old to conquer fear with courage and rise above one's shortcomings to contribute to society and the nation as a whole. Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
In a decisive boost to India's fight against organized crime and terror-linked networks, India on Friday launched its first ever national-level organized crime network database, which is a landmark initiative aimed at dismantling the criminal syndicates that have repeatedly compromised internal security. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated the database in Anti-Terror Conference 2025 in New Delhi. The two-day event is being organized by the country's anti-terror unit, the National Investigation Agency, developed by the national. The database creates a centralized digital repository of government-owned weapons that have been lost, stolen, looted or recovered from state police forces and the Central Armed Police Forces. The database integrates inputs from all states and union territories and will help the law enforcement agencies to trace weapons, to trace the origin of the weapons, disrupt criminal and terror networks, improve coordination and prevent firearms from being misused in the extremist or violent activities. Sri Lanka welcomed External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar's recent visit, calling it timely and deeply meaningful. Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India, Maheshini Kallon, said that she will visit. Said the visit reassured both the government and the people that India stands firmly with Sri Lanka in times of their need.
The visit of India's Minister for External Affairs, Honorable Jaishankar, to Sri Lanka so soon after Operation Sagarbandu, in fact, less than a month, just within weeks of Operation Sagarbandu, was seen by Sri Lanka, the government and the people as a deeply meaningful and timely visit. It gave people the confidence that India stands by them at their time of great need, and it was not just a symbolic visit. The minister carried with him a letter from Prime Minister Modi that demonstrated commitment at the highest political level. And not only that, the visit, as you said, was connected to the pledge of $450 million of assistance for the reconstruction phase.
Let's talk about markets now. Silver prices surged sharply in India's national capital, jumping the 9,350 rupees mark to hit a fresh lifetime high of 2,36,350 rupees per kilogram. The precious white metal has gained nearly 16% over the past 4 seasons and has seen it rise more than 163% so far in this calendar year. Gold also extended its rally in the domestic bullion market, raising 1,500 rupees. A new record of the 1,42,000 and the 300 rupees per 10 grams actually. Analysts attributed the surge in precious metals to expectations of the US Federal Reserve rate cuts, a weak dollar and a growing safe haven demand. Now look at some sports news. Australia finished marginally on top at the end of the chaotic opening day of the 4th Ashes Test after an extraordinary 20 wickets fell in front of a record crowd at the Melbourne cricket ground on Friday. Australia night watchman Scott Boland was 4 not out, with Travis heading yet to score as the hosts went to stumps at 4 for no loss in its second innings. It carries a lead of 46 run over England, with England bowled out for 110 reply to Australia's first innings 152. It was the highest number of wickets in a single day at the MCG since a record 25% fell in the 1902 ashes. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR codes you see on your screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amritpal Singh from my entire team here in Delhi. Thank you for watching DD India Live. Bye-bye.